Alrighty here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fantasy Fools YouTube channel. This will be a channel here where we talk anything relating to fantasy football, PPR league related right now, plans to expand to Dynasty later on, and then kind of just have some fun with some alternative videos like today's video being a Dream Team video, which is going to be based on the NFC North. So you got the Vikings, Packers, Lions, and Bears. And how this is going to work is basically I'm going to pick one video here or one player here as a quarterback, two as running backs, three receivers, a tight end, and three bench players from those four teams. It's kind of going to be like my dream team from the division. I do plan on doing this for every division here, as well as my dad, who is going to be the other person here on the channel with me as soon as we get into more fantasy talks here down the road within the coming months. So be ready for that because we got some mock drafts coming. We're talking like anything football related from who you should pick up, drop, waiver wire, all that stuff once the season runs around. So let's get on into it. So to start things on off here, I'm gonna just pick my quarterback here from the division, which will be Jared Goff. I think of the four here, he is probably the best at the moment. I think Jordan Love could pass him up here in the near future. It's just one full year of Jordan Love isn't enough for me to judge him quite yet, and I can't really judge the other two quarterbacks within this division at the moment just due to them, well, not playing a single game. So I don't know how it's going to go, and you never know with the Vikings who they're going to start with Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy. So I think Jared Goff is going to be my option here at quarterback. He's been a pretty good quarterback since joining the league from playing on the Rams to now the Lions, and he's pretty solid overall. His connection with this tight end and receiver are really good too. To move on forward, we're going to start with our running back one on the team, which I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. I am a huge believer in Josh Jacobs. I think he is probably the best running back in the division right now. That doesn't mean in the future he will be, because I think someone like Gibbs will be passing him up in the near future, but we'll talk more on Gibbs later. Josh Jacobs, the stud running back for the Raiders for so many years, now getting traded on over there to the Packers. So he should have a really good season cut out for him. Aaron Jones, who is now in the Vikings, actually had some pretty solid seasons there in Green Bay. So I expect Jacobs to have a pretty solid year there on that roster. To move on forward from that, we got a running back too, which is Aaron Jones, who's now with the Vikings. I think he actually signed like 2 or 3 days after getting let go from the Packers. I think he's gonna have a pretty solid year if he can stay healthy. That is the one big question mark with Jones, is if he can stay healthy. But if he does, I think we easily see him surpass 1,000 yards and have a really solid year. I think he could grow a pretty solid connection with JJ McCarthy as well, catching the ball out of the backfield and hopefully having, good 1,200 yard season. That's the goal. A few hundred yards receiving there as well. He does have Ty Chandler there in the backfield as well. So we'll kind of see how that plays on out here amongst the whole Minnesota roster. To move on forward here, the wide receiver one, I think this one's going to be pretty obvious. Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the NFL. That is without question. Um, Top guy, very few can do what he can do. Will he maybe have a bit of a rough year? Yeah, I kind of expected he is going to have a rookie quarterback joining him this year, so we'll kind of see how it plays on out. But I think he's easily the best receiver in the NFL, and if I think that, he's the best in the division, so I got to pick him. Wide receiver two is going to go to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The dude is a fucking beast. Like, he is just insane. I fully expect him to have another like really really good year. Probably a good 1,500 yards. Him and Jared Goff had a pretty good connection last year, and we'll kind of see if he can maintain that because as of right now, his stats actually are better than what Megatron was doing for Detroit back when he was playing. So he's looking good. I fully expect him to have another great year, another probably 1,500 yards this year. Moving forward, we got the wide receiver three here, which is going to be DJ Moore. I was torn between Moore and Allen, and I think DJ Moore is probably the better of the two, and he's got more years to come with them. We'll kind of see though how that plays on out. It could go either way. Um, if I don't put Moore here, I put Keenan Allen, but it's going to be a little bit tough to judge until we see Caleb Williams play and see what connections he grows throughout the season with his receivers, because he does have a really nice receiving core. He's got obviously DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then Rome Odunze. So we'll kind of see who his main option is on this roster. I think it'll be DJ Moore, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was Keenan Allen. I think they both could actually go for over 1,000 yards, but not 100% sure there. Maybe Keenan Allen takes a step back this year. I don't really know how that's going to play on now. To move forward, though, we're going to go here with Sam Laporta. And this one was probably the hardest spot for me to pick within this division because I think there are three really good tight ends within this division. Laporta, who had the best year of them all last year, is just who I'm going to go with for now. I could easily put TJ Hawkinson up here. I think he is an absolute beast. He used to play for the Lions and then made the move over to the Vikings, and the dude's insane. He just got injured last year, and we didn't get to really see his full potential with like bad quarterback play and all the nitty gritty stuff there from the Vikings last year. So it could have been Hawkinson. I also think Cole Kmet is another really, really good tight end. So it wouldn't surprise me if either three of these guys had a really good year with a rookie quarterback. Cole Kmet could be like the better of the three. You just never know until you see how the season plays out. But for me, I'd personally go with Sam Laporta. He was just outstanding last year. Was not expecting that out of him, and God, he just had a really good season. Like the dude was nuts. And then, like I said at the start of the video, we're gonna have three bench players. These three bench players here can be at any position. If you want to back up quarterback, you know, back quarterback. You want two backup running backs, you know, two backup running backs. You want two backup wide receivers. You can kind of do whatever you want here with this position, as you'll see like the differences between myself and my dad when he does these. So we'll hop on into the first one here, which is gonna be Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs had a pretty solid second half of the season. I could easily put him in like one of my starting two spots. It's just the fact that he's splitting reps with Montgomery, so it was kind of borderline for me. I haven't seen him like at his best yet, so I kind of just want to see a little bit more before I bump him up there. But he easily could take like an Aaron Jones or Josh Jacobs. Like he could even be the running back one on like this team. Like these three guys are really, really close to me. I think our division is probably like the best division with running backs right now. It's nuts because you even have Swift or not, yeah, Swift on the Bears now, I believe. So it'll be interesting because any one of those four guys could pop off, and we've seen a good year from Swift. Swift used to be on the Lions at one point as well. Like we're familiar with it. So really, running backs could have gone either way. These guys are like really close. Like it could interchange within a second. Like this could change like tomorrow for me. Like if I really had a change of heart there. Like all three of these guys are really, really good. So Gibbs really did impress me last year. It's just I need a little bit more, and it's a little hard to judge at times with how Montgomery could take over. We didn't see it as much in the second half of the year after the injury, but Gibbs would be my first backup running back. To move forward after that, we're going to be seeing Jordan Addison, and this was another tough spot for me to pick. Because it easily could have been Keenan Allen. I think that's the only other person I would have picked. Rama Dunzi wouldn't have been it, and then I don't think I'd pick anyone else from the Lions receiving wise. So Keenan Allen would have been the other interchangeable guy. Which again, these two were really close. I thought Jordan Addison had a really solid year last year, even with lackluster quarterback play. So I want to put him here. He's young as well, so in the long run, if I was making my dream team here, I'd also want to think a little longevity. But Jordan Addison, a beast. He kind of gives me like Tyreek Hill vibes, just a little bit lesser, just because he's a little, I want to say scrawnier. He doesn't have as much muscle and all of that, but dude's a beast, and I can't wait to see what he does this year for the Vikings. And to move into our last spot here, we are going to be taking TJ Hawkinson. With how close the tight ends were, I'm like, I could just pick both and have them on my dream team. If there's ever like a two tight end type setup on my offense with like this, like would be nice to have both him and Laporta. Again, both those guys could go interchangeable, and I would also pick Keenan Allen there if I really felt the need to. I think Keenan Allen is a really, really good receiver. He could have been easily in the mixer. It was really tough for me to pick, but in the end, I'm like, I'll take a backup tight end and roll with it. But other than that, like we've all seen what Hawkinson could do. He could easily be like starting and not being a bench player for me type thing. So that's kind of how my dream team would pan on out. As stated at the start of the video, I do plan on doing this for every single division here. My dad will be hopping on as well to do it himself. And yeah, Um, expect some mock drafts, like I said previously, coming up here on the channel, as well as our content once the season starts, which will be quite a few things. Waiver wire, big one. That'll be a fun one. Must starts, must bench players, based on their strength of schedule that week, like who their opponent's going to be, and quite a few other things. We have so much planned, and we're super excited to do it. So enjoy, guys, because we're going to have some streams and some heated moments on there. It's going to be entertaining because my dad and I really do get into it sometimes. So if you guys want some entertaining content, I definitely recommend stopping on by those streams when we talk about it, because it's very interesting sometimes with what we say. So there will be a hot take section as well, that'll be fun because that'll lead to even more heated debates in there. So like I'm super excited for it. So hope you guys do enjoy the video, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share it around. Like, we're trying to get ourselves out there. I hate to ask of that right away, but the quicker like we can grow, the better things will be. We're gonna start putting more into everything, and there's a lot of plans. Just can't get too far ahead of ourselves. But for now, we're gonna sign on off, and we'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you for stopping on by.